Hello everybody, today I'm going to be telling you how you can set yourself up for the future and start building wealth at a young age. The first and most important way to set yourself up as a teenager is opening a Roth IRA as soon as possible. A Roth IRA is a tax-advantaged retirement account, which basically means that it saves you a bunch of money on taxes. I know as a teenager you are not that worried about paying taxes, but trust me, when you get older, you are going to thank yourself for opening this account. In this Roth IRA, you can buy stocks, index funds, or bonds. For the majority of people, I would recommend you go with 100% index funds because they cover pretty much the entire stock market or a bunch of stocks. This basically means that index funds are diversified and give you long, steady growth. Index funds are essentially a collection of stocks within one affordable stock. So for example, VTI is an index fund that covers every single stock in the stock market. So it has a tiny little piece of every single stock in the stock market into one stock that's affordable for you. The benefit of having an index fund is if one stock that's in your index fund goes down, then the rest of the stocks in the index fund will keep your price up and you won't lose money. So for example, VTI has 3,600 stocks in it. If one of those stocks were to go down, the rest of the 3,599 stocks would still be the same and you would probably not lose much money at all. You probably wouldn't even notice it. Personally, I use Vanguard for my Roth IRA, but I would also recommend Fidelity and Schwab. If you want to start investing in index funds but don't know where to start, I have a video that I will link right here that goes over my top 3 Vanguard index funds. The sooner you start this Roth IRA, the better because of a concept called compound interest. In math class, you probably have heard of this before, but probably didn't pay attention. Compound interest is the idea that if your money is compounded consistently over time, that you will earn exponentially more and more money. The graph looks like this. This means that the money that you contribute today to your Roth IRA will be worth exponentially more in the future. To be exact, 22 times more. So next time you go out to eat or grab that cup of coffee, think about the true cost of that meal. For example, if you went to Chipotle and got a $10 burrito, that is actually $10 times 22, which you can do the math, that is a lot of money for a burrito. Having this perspective is so powerful as a teenager because it helps you think about your purchases, although I do love Chipotle. To make sure this video isn't too long, I'm gonna leave the Roth IRA there, but I will link this video that I go over a Roth IRA. The second way to set yourself up for success is by reading books. Books are such a powerful tool because you can dive into the minds of people who have achieved your goals. If you want to learn how to lead a financially free life, then go ahead and read 4-Hour Workweek. If you want to learn how to increase your people skills and market to people better, then go ahead and read How to Win Friends and Influence People. There is an infinite amount of books out there and there is so much knowledge to be gained from them. When you are young, these books can shift your views on money and set you up for a financially free and successful life. Books can also be a great place to learn new skills. One last thing on books, do not only read nonfiction. Pick up a fantasy or a romance novel. I guarantee that in some way it will improve your life. The third way to set yourself up for success while you're a teenager is play around with a small amount of money. What I mean by this is set aside around $100 and just play with it. Put it into the stock market, try day trading, try options trading, try all these different financial things, and if you lose it, so what? You're out $100. The knowledge that you've gained from using that $100 is worth much more than the actual money that you lost. And who knows, you might not even lose it, you might double it. This is what I tell my friends. I tell them to just put aside $100, put it into the stock market and just mess around. The lessons that you learn from experimenting with this $100 in reckless and exciting ways could be worth millions in the future. For example, when I first started my financial journey, I put $100 into Robinhood and I just day traded with it. After about a month, I got all the way up to $130. And then in the span of one trade, made it back to 100. This taught me how risky day trading actually is. That lesson has probably saved me tens of thousands of dollars in the future. And don't just day trade with this money. Use it as your tuition to the stock market and just play around, do some options. This becomes a lot more exciting if you think of that money with scale. So for example, if you put $100 in, think of that $100 as $100,000. So for every dollar you make on that $100, you're actually making 1,000. Doing this helps you understand the true earning potential of investing. If you do not want to risk $100 of your own money, then I guess you could try paper trading, but honestly, it's not the same. It will help you out a lot more if your actual money is on the line. Number 4 is get up and exercise. For one, people who exercise are generally happier human beings. And that's the goal, right? Not only does exercise make you happier, but it also helps you get opportunities. Good-looking people are statistically offered more opportunities than non-good-looking people. So think of that exercise as an investment in your future and yourself. You don't have to be Zac Efron or anything, but just try to stay healthy. Now, speaking of consistency with exercise, number 5 is being consistent. Being consistent in the things that are important to you will help you out in pretty much every aspect of life. No matter if you are motivated or not, you need to develop the discipline to do the things that you say you're going to do and do them consistently. Remember when I talked about compound interest? Consistency also follows the rule of compound interest. Let's take me with this YouTube channel, for example. I post about once a week, and so over time, I will develop a collection of videos that people watch over and over again. The longer I stay consistent, the more content I have to reach new people. When you are consistent, you become predictable, and that makes people more likely to interact with you because they know what's going to happen. For example, if I always post on Monday, then people will expect a video on Monday. Consistency goes with so many aspects of life, from exercise to education to business. As soon as I stop posting on YouTube, that exponential climb will just stop. And you don't have to be consistent with everything, but anything that's important to you, be consistent with it. So only pick stuff to be consistent with that you know that you can stick to. At the moment with school, work, social life, I do not think I could upload 2 videos a week and be consistent with it. So therefore, my consistency is 1 video a week. If I decide to upload a second video, great, but I'm not holding myself accountable for uploading 2 videos a week. And under no circumstance will I drop to under 1 a week. This is pretty much the most important thing on this list, and I can pretty much guarantee you that if you are consistently consistent, that you will most likely be wealthy. Number 6 is fail. If you are not failing, then you are not taking enough risk. I fail all the time, and some of my most valuable lessons I have learned through failing. Go into risky situations. I mean, to an extent. But go ahead and start that business. Even if it fails, you will have learned so much, and you can incorporate that knowledge into your next business. Not only will you learn the lessons from failure, but you will learn how to rebound from failure and not be afraid of failure. And those are 2 life skills that are so underrated. Number 7 is work with people who know more than you. You should always be learning in whatever field you are in. To learn, you need lots of practice and somebody who knows more than you. Working with a mentor or just a boss that knows a lot more than you is a perfect way to learn something new. By the way, when I say mentor, I do not mean the dudes from the dropshipping or Forex ads.
Here in my garage.
You learn a lot faster when actually doing the thing. For example, I worked as a line cook for about 6 months over the summer. Before I got that job, I literally had to look up how to boil water because I was afraid if I turned the stove all the way up, it would blow up. By the time that 6 months was up, I ran the kitchen by myself in the mornings. You can do a lot more than you think you can in a short amount of time. You just have to push yourself. So be an unpaid intern, work for free. Just ask as many questions as you can while you have the chance. The 8th way to set yourself up for the future as a teen is learning delayed gratification. The best things come to those who wait. However, this does not mean waiting and doing nothing. The best things come to those who do not need to get paid immediately. Delaying gratification is delaying satisfaction. Delayed gratification can look like many different things. One example would be saying no to fast food for a healthier option later in the day. You are essentially giving up the short-term satisfaction of the fast food, which tastes really good and is really easy, for the long-term satisfaction of being healthy. This can be applied to so many aspects of life, but for the sake of this video, I will apply it only to wealth building. When practicing delayed gratification, you can work for free in the beginning when you know that you'll be paid much more in the future. For example, I work for completely free on this YouTube channel, which I do not mind because I enjoy it. But hopefully in the future, I will be making a lot of money from this YouTube channel. Do not settle for a job that pays you less that you can get right now. Instead, you should build up your skills and get a job in the future that will pay you a lot more money. Almost all entrepreneurs practice delayed gratification. In the beginning of starting a business, your business will most likely not make much money, or it might even lose money. But over time, you are anticipating that your business will grow and you will make exponentially more money. Number 9 is striving for equity. You should try to get as much equity as possible while you're young. This can be equity in a business, a house, etc. To generate wealth, you need to own things and be a part of things instead of buying things. I'm not saying go buy a house at 18 with no money, but you should start thinking while you're young about how you can achieve equity in something that will generate you revenue. This might be buying stocks or starting your own business. When you start your own business, you have 100% equity of that business. You may not be making a lot today, but over time, if you keep working at it, you could be making a lot of money. If a job offers you equity versus income, weigh the two options. See how much equity you're actually getting and then compare it against the salary that you would get. A lot of times equity is worse in the short term, but better over the long term. And that goes back to delayed gratification. Now, number 10 is extremely important. You want to develop passive income and also multiple streams of income. I put these two together because passive income is in the end just another income stream. Passive income is defined as making money with no effort or very little effort on your part. This can be done through investments such as tenants paying you every month for rent, or owning stocks such as dividend stocks that pay you a set amount every month. There are so many videos on how to make passive income, so I'm not going to go in depth on it here, but just know if you're not making money while you sleep, then you need to change something. Stocks are my favorite way to generate passive income. The next section of number 10 is multiple streams of income. This means that you have money coming in from more than one source. For example, let's say I make $50,000 from my day job, $5,000 from stocks, $10,000 from real estate, and $20,000 from my online business. This person would have 4 streams of income. Having multiple streams of income sounds hard, but it's actually not. There are so many ways to do it nowadays. When you have multiple streams of income, you are protected from unexpected events, such as losing your job. In that example above, if that person were to lose their day job, also known as $50,000 a year of their overall income, they would still have $35,000 a year coming in that they could live off of. That is more than enough to survive. Having multiple streams of income allows you to earn more money and feel safer. The last way to set yourself up in your teens is by understanding lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is the tendency for humans to increase their lifestyles based off of income. For example, somebody who makes $40,000 a year is likely to spend around $40,000 a year. Someone making $80,000 a year is much likely to spend more than $40,000 a year. This is how some people make like $100,000 and are still living paycheck to paycheck. This is bad. You want to avoid increasing your lifestyle at any cost. When you are young, you should come up with a number on how much money you actually want to live on and don't deviate from that number. For example, in my 20s, I want to live on $30,000 a year at most, and in my 40s and like 50s, then I'll move up to maybe $40,000, $50,000 a year. If I'm making $100,000 and only spending $20,000, that is a lot of savings. Now, I am an extreme example, so feel free to, do like $50,000, $60,000 a year. If you're making like $100,000, like it doesn't matter that much. Just make sure you're saving a good portion of your income. You've probably heard of the hedonic treadmill. That means humans return to a base level of happiness. So whether you are spending $50,000 a year or $200,000 a year, there's probably not that much difference in happiness. The point is just be smart with your spending and try not to increase your lifestyle too quick. That is all for my teenage success tips. There are obviously a lot more, but those are the most important ones. I really hope you learned something and found some value in this video. If you want to follow along with the channel, then I recommend that you subscribe. If you have any questions about anything in this video, make sure to comment it down below and I will get back to you. Thank you all and have a great day.